everyone! Today our learning goal is finding the height of a cone. We're going to use the same formula that we've been using all week. The volume of a cone is 1/3 times pi times the radius times the height. We can abbreviate this as V equals 1/3 pi r squared h, or if you don't have a calculator that does fractions, V equals pi r squared h over 3. We're going to do two examples, one with radius, one with diameter, and I'm going to use one of these formulas for each example. So our first example says, we're going to do the one on the left. The volume of a cone is 549.5. The radius is 5. Find the height. Okay, I'm going to use the top formula here. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. V equals 1/3 pi radius squared height. And I'm going to plug things in. I know the radius is 5. And I know the volume is 549.5. So for volume, I'm going to put 549.5 equals 1/3. For pi, I'm going to put in 3.14. Radius is 5, so 5 times 5 because it's radius squared, and I'm going to leave that height. Again, you cannot use 0.3 instead of 1/3. It's not quite the same. 1/3 is 0.3 repeating. You have to use 1/3 or you have to use the other formula. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and multiply this together now. 1/3 times 3.14 times 5 times 5. When I multiply this together, I get 26.16 repeating. It's important that I don't round, that I keep it as repeating. So I have 549.5 equals 26.16 with a repeating sign over the 6, h. If your calculator gives it to you as a fraction, you could also keep it as a fraction. That's even better. Now, 26.16 repeating means that when you put this next step in your calculator, you're going to have to repeat the 6. You can't just put in 26.16. You have to put in 26.166666666 and fill up your whole calculator with 6s. Because our next step, to get h alone, we're going to divide both sides by 26.16 repeating. And again, you can't just put in 26.16, you'll get the wrong answer. You have to put in 26.16 repeating and repeat that 6 in your calculator. When you do that, you should get 21. So we have 21 equals, on this side they cross off, and you have h. So our final answer here is 21 equals h, which means the height is 21. Let's look at a second example. And this one, we're given the diameter instead of the radius. So this one says, the volume of a cone is 50.24. The diameter is 4. Find the height. So I'm going to use the other formula here. So volume equals pi r squared h all over 3. Okay. Volume is 50.24. Diameter is 4. We cannot use diameter in this formula. The formula doesn't have diameter, it has radius. I know that the radius is half the diameter, so I'm going to do 4 divided by 2, which gives me 2, and that's going to be the radius. So I'm going to use 2 for the radius, and then for volume, I'm using 50.24. So when I plug that in, I get 50.24 equals, I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. Radius is 2, so 2 times h all over 3. Okay, I'm going to do this part, 3.14 times 2 times 2. And I wind up with 12.56. So So at this point, I'm at 50.24 equals 12.56 h over 3. Okay, to simplify even further, I'm going to divide this. I'm going to do 12.56 divided by 3. So I'm doing 12.56 divided by 3, and I get 4.186 repeating. Again, you can't get rid of the repeating. So I have 50.24 equals 4.186 repeating h. You can't get rid of that repeating. You can't round. You have to keep the repeating. When you divide on our next step, we're going to have to repeat the 6 again. So we're going to divide by both sides by 4.186 repeating, which means you have to fill up your calculator. Don't just round. Fill it all the way up. And when you do that, you should get 12. So 12 equals, those cross off, h. So your height of this cone is 12. All right, everyone. If you have any questions, please email me or sign up for a one-on-one tutoring call. Have a good day, everyone.